It's time to talk about the winger newbie training plan for Hattrick. And the goal here is to create a simple training plan, to have a sense of progression, and to have flexibility in your positions as you train and learn more about the game. If you watched the video on goalkeeper training, let me say that the winger training is a little less simple, but it should have potential to earn you more. But it will take a little more time and a little more patience in order to get going with this training plan. Right, we need to buy 4 winger trainees, and we will need to make a specific search here. So we'll set it to 17 years and maybe not 3 days, even though that is preferable, but we'll set it at 15 days. We will set winger at least passable, and we will keep the max passable as well, because we need to be able to pay our trainees with the starting money. Disregard the figure I have here available for transfers. This is not a completely fresh team. All right, so for winger we want at least passable, and we want some specific specialties for these slots. We want quick, unpredictable, or header. Some like to include support here, but I wouldn't recommend it for new players because it's not really clear how. I wouldn't include a support player at this time. All right, so another thing we have to look into is we would like a TSI of at least 925. All right, we'll just leave it like this, and then we'll have a look, see what actually comes up here. Right, so if we look at a player like this first guy, he's approximately 50,000 euros. You have to multiply it by 10 here. And he's actually a little too good for that. Maybe that doesn't make any sense, but he will be more expensive than the figure shown here. But if we look further down at Marcos here, he has a good specialty. He's a lot cheaper at this point. But look at these skills here. His passing, wing, and playmaking are all at passable level 6. He's a little older, but this is where it requires a little more patience, because then we'll have to look at a player like this. And I would say, as a newbie player, do not pay more than 30,000 euros per player. Set that as a maximum. If it goes above that figure, just skip him and wait for the next player that you can buy that meets this criteria. Pay attention to at least the secondary skills, playmaking and passing. You would like them to be around 5 or 6. Scoring is relevant as well, so is defending, but prioritize scoring over defending and playmaking and passing over the others initially. Right, so look at a player like Marcos here when you look to buy your 4 main wingers. Training winger, you can also train 4 players at the back position, but it requires a little more knowledge in order to utilize those to the max efficiency. So for the simple plan here, we'll just stick to 4 main winger trainees. We are back in the HT Cycle web app by session with the formulas by Shum. Right, we need to add a winger, and let's just say he is 17 and 15 days, like the example we found. Keeper 1, defending, let's just say 3, playmaking 5, 6 winger, 5 passing, 4 scoring, 2 set pieces. It's not super important because we cannot tell exactly what we will find. All right, so coach level. Our aim is to hire a solid coach as soon as possible. We always aim to have an assistant coach level of 10 as well. Stamina, we always set that to 10, and training intensity always 100%. Let's pick winger here and say 16 weeks duration, and let's train our winger. And if we look at that, he will be just about skill 11, and if you train him for a full season and he's only just 10.99, you will not be able to tell that exactly in game. You would train him for another week to make sure that he pops in skill, because that way it will be visible for other people to see in the transfer list, and they would actually pay for his skill. So he would be 11, brilliant in winger by the time you've trained him for 1 season. Right, to make a brief summary of the winger training after 1 season. 4 wing trainees at max 30,000 euros, a total of 120,000 euros of the starting cash. We train them for a season and then we sell them for a profit 4 times 1.1 million euros each, approximately. It could be a little less, it could be a little more, depending on how patient and how lucky you are when buying the initial trainees. And then we have a profit of 4.4 million euros, approximately, the first season. Do remember though, we didn't take the back slots into account where you can train for half the efficiency of the main slot. Alright, so this is the summary of training for 1 season. I will, however, now expand our example to a 2-season training plan, because for winger training, that makes good sense. Alright, so we will go back to the cycle planner and we'll have a look at a 2-season training plan now. If you have a little more patience, and let's say you were able to train these for 2 seasons, 32 weeks, let's just push the train button and then we will see how the profit would be per player for 2 seasons instead. This requires, let's just say, double the patience, but it will make the let's just have a look at the example here. All right, so if we look at the example, they're quite close to popping to level 14. So let's just add another week here and say, okay, you have 4 wingers now. They are all at level 14. How much would that be able to bring in profit? All right, so we're looking at training for 2 seasons here. Requires more patience, but if we look at the figures, summary here, we buy 4 wing trainers at max 30,000 euros, 120,000 euros in total. We train for another season. So now we train the first wingers for 2 seasons. And I've set the profit per player a little conservatively here, only at 3 million euros per player. So if we sell 4 of these players, and of course we would have to subtract the initial expense of investing in the players plus some wages, but we would be able to sell them for 12 million euros approximately. That is training them for 2 seasons. So if you are patient enough and you know this, that you will be able to train them straight up for 2 seasons, you should probably do so. Chances are you might want to get started in building your actual team after just 1 season, but training another season will definitely give you a better return. Last thing I want to say is thanks for watching, and thanks to Session and Shum for the formulas, but especially to Session for making this awesome tool. To all the new managers starting out in Hattrick, good luck. It's a very fun game once you get started and you start to learn the more detailed things of Hattrick. Good luck and have fun.